Okay, guys, welcome back to Let's Get Footy with Chris, Lewis, and myself, Tommy. We've got a heck of a lot to talk about today, guys, in the world of football. I think we need to start by giving a congratulations. I think it needs to be done. So, massive congratulations to Aston Villa, who are European champions. Well done, Aston Villa.
Round of applause for Aston Villa.
They got the job done.
Yeah, that's Emery's fifth Europa League.
Yeah, man.
He's
crazy. He's done well there. He's done very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I thought it was important to shout out the Villa, you know. Massive respect to them and what they've achieved. I guess.
Another team won something. I think it was on Wednesday, whatever.
We should also mention the fact
Tuesday,
that second again, ole, Arsenal have won the league. And it's respect, I guess. Respect. Are we happy? Are we sad? What are the thoughts?
Yeah. Kind of agree with Chris.
No one cares. Y'all ever watch Cars? The Disney movie Cars?
Yeah.
And at the end when the Dinoco car like crashes and then Lightning McQueen goes to help him and Chick Hicks wins the Piston Cup and he's like out on the stage celebrating and the crowd is just looking at him like and not giving a shit. That's exactly how people have reacted. I saw a tweet out there that said no club congratulated Arsenal.
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't know if that was real or
if that's true, that's funny.
Well, I can definitely tell you that Chelsea didn't. So
yeah, but they congratulated Aston Villa.
Yeah.
To keep it short on it, I think it's because of all the VAR stuff that was really beneficial to them. That kind of takes it away. Because if they were pulling like a Leicester, they were playing good football. It was nice on the eye. Yeah, their fans are annoying, but it's okay. They're a fun watch. That's different. But I think because you had the stuff with West Ham, you had the stuff with the red card they should have gotten against Burnley. That horrendous tackle. Mm-hmm. The studs are on the guy's calf.
That's a straight red card.
Yeah.
Caicedo got sent off for the same exact thing in the Arsenal game this season, so it's a straight red card.
I think even the Arsenal fans generally said, that was a red.
Yeah, to be fair, a lot of them did say, how did he stay on the pitch? But if you're getting them lucky calls and you're getting the luck from the VAR, then it's clearly your year.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then I sent you those comments from, I think it was the CEO of the Prem or the former CEO, saying that they have plans in place to get a different name on the title like every 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
So
is it fixed, guys? Is football fixed?
You could say it is, but if you, from the Premier League CEO point of view, Liverpool won it last year, which was different to Man City. So we've had 2 different Premier League champions in the last 2 years instead of it being Man City. Mm-hmm. So it's one of them. Overall, if we do look at it, I hate to say it, but Arsenal were the most consistent side. So overall, City weren't great. City didn't blow everyone away this year. They were very inconsistent. Mm-hmm. And I did say from the start of the week, I said, if there's any game they're going to lose and drop points to towards the end of the season, it will be Bournemouth. They will drop points to Bournemouth.
Shout out Bournemouth, by the way. What a team!
Yeah, what a season they've had.
Could potentially finish in a Champions League spot. That's incredible. Well,
all they got to do on Sunday now is they've got to beat Forest away from home, and then they've just got to rely on Liverpool winning against Brentford. If Liverpool beat Brentford and Villa finish 5th, then they get Champions League.
Good luck. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, if Bournemouth did finish in the Champions League spot, is that up there with winning the league, Leicester winning the league? Is that an achievement?
Personally, I would say it's a bigger achievement than Leicester winning the league.
Whoa.
But I only say that because it wasn't long ago that Bournemouth nearly went out of business completely.
That's true.
Completely. They did have administration. They went into administration. They got a minus 90 points.
Mm-hmm.
And then Eddie Howe comes in and gets them back to back promotions. Like
they've lost a lot of their best players at the start of last season, and Semenyo in January.
And that's the thing. Like, you lost Kirkes, Hoyson, Debani. You lost 3 of your back 4. Well, 4 of your back 4, like 4 of them, because you lost Kepa as well, because Kepa was their goalie last season. So you lost half your back line, and then you go into the season. Then in January you go and lose your best attacker. So for what they've done and the money they've spent, because they haven't spent that much money though compared to what other teams have. Fair play to them. Fair play to them.
I had them down to go down at the start of the season. I don't know about you guys. I thought the players they've lost.
No, I knew they'll survive, but I generally thought they'd be bottom half of the table. That is where I thought Bournemouth would be this year.
In a battle.
It just shows how good of a manager Iraola is. It just shows that if he's got, and it's football's a mentality game. So if the mentality of the team's high and it looks good, then they're going to play well. Like, that was their 17th game unbeaten against City the other day. Like, 17 games unbeaten for a team like Bournemouth is it's unthinkable.
It is amazing.
In reality, that's like a title-winning run. In reality, it kind of is. If you take all the draws out of it and they got more wins, and they would have been, I generally would think they would be finishing above the likes of Villa and Liverpool, and probably United if they took away most. They got 17 draws this season. 17.
Wow,
that is crazy.
So you just need that little piece to take those draws into win.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's better than the. It's an achievement, but Leicester won the title. They were close to relegation. They survived, and then the next season they went straight to the top. That doesn't happen often.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I think it's close. It's up there. It's obviously a huge achievement, but winning the league was. That was another weird season, though, right? A little bit like this season, where there's not been
much competition this year.
No, it's been Arsenal have been the only team that have been fairly consistent. Other than that.
Well, if you do look at the Premier League table and you do look at it properly, you do see like the likes of Liverpool, Villa, Chelsea, Spurs. That they are really still fairly close in points. Like, it's only like 15 to 18 points between it all, from like the top half to the bottom half. That's how close it's been this year. But then you do look at Arsenal, and apparently this season has been, compared to like last year and the year before and all that, apparently the title, the team in first or the team in last, the points isn't actually as much as it was compared to the last few years. Obviously, like, Wolves are on like 15, 16 points, didn't they? So like last year it was like teams weren't fit getting the points and they were struggling to stay in the Premier League. But now it seems that this was the first year in 5 years that the Premier League was close, and it was fairly. You can say it wasn't as competitive, but you would say the European places are competitive at the moment, with the likes of Brentford, Bournemouth, Chelsea are in there still, Liverpool. You got the European places are fairly tight, and even Sunderland. To be fair, Sunderland are there. They could get Europe on Sunday if they pull through. That's how close it all is.
Yeah, but the quality of the league has been bad to me.
Yeah,
it's not been.
Nah, the quality's not been great. The quality's been absolutely horrendous. Arsenal's won the league on winning by corners. They've not won it by outscoring the other team. They've literally won. I'm pretty sure they've had like
30 or
1-0s. 15 1-0s this season. The thing is, like, they were playing Burnley on Monday night. In any other team who's in a title, you're expecting that team to wipe the floor with them. And you're expecting the title winning team to go absolutely batter them across it, like just batter them, and they didn't. And to be fair, Burnley were probably the better team for the majority of that second half. If it wasn't for them not getting the call, which was a red card, then I think Burnley would have got a draw from that game.
Yeah, probably.
I think they would have got a point.
And we would have been very excited for this Sunday. It would have gone down to the wire, which is what we all wanted.
But the relegation's going down to the wire.
Yes. What are we thinking, gentlemen?
I think Spurs are going to Spurs it.
You think they're going to go
down?
You think?
All they need, though, is a point. That's all they need.
They've got the harder game.
They're playing Everton, who enjoy ruining people's time.
Well, the manager of Everton is David Moyes. So all the West Ham fans are now shouting, "Please, David, save us for a third time."
Realize that? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, he could
obviously we done them a favour. We done them a favour, which, fair play. Like, I didn't expect us to actually get anything from that game. I expected a draw, if anything. Didn't expect us to win. Just that's how I feel at the moment with my cup. But
Got the job done.
I'm right there with you.
To be fair, like the first 10 minutes of our game on the week against Spurs, they were better than us. They wiped the floor with us for a little bit, but we found a way and we got the goals. And I think that's where Spurs' season's kind of ruined it for them. They've let teams back in the game. And then when teams get that first goal, their mentality gets kicked in the face, doesn't it? And they're like, oh, here we go again. This is it. We're gonna lose. So
yeah,
I think this season, it's just all come down to mentality for Spurs, but also injuries. They have lost a lot of people this year. But if they go down, it's absolutely crazy. If they go down, you would not
wild
expect.
if they go down. It is wild, but there they are. It just shows that nobody's actually safe. If they go down, like that's West Ham. It would still be quite a shot. I don't think West Ham should. You look at West Ham in recent years; they shouldn't really be there either. But it's not as big a shock as Tottenham. Top 6 club.
Yeah, West Ham made the mistake of bringing in Graham Potter. In reality, Graham Potter, he was a good manager at Brighton, but since then he's not been good, which is true. And I think they just made the mistake of bringing in a manager who wasn't right in the head at the time, because obviously Chelsea completely ruined him. So I feel like the mentality of the manager weren't great for the mentality of the players, because you look at that West Ham squad, they shouldn't be where they are. Same with Spurs. You look at the Spurs squad, they shouldn't be where they are. In reality, both of their squads are European teams. In reality, they're European fighting teams. And I'm pretty sure a lot of us said it this year when you saw all the transfers coming in for West Ham. We're like, well, okay, here we go. They'll be fighting for Europe this year, and they didn't. They've been absolutely horrendous, and they've been fighting for relegation. Wasn't expecting that.
West Ham Millwall next year, possibly. That'll be interesting.
Possibly.
Very interesting.
But Leeds are missing a lot of players this weekend. Yeah. West Ham are not. If West Ham can actually turn up this weekend and get the result, and Spurs lose, then
that'd be unbelievable. I mean, West Ham have been pretty poor in the last couple of games. I think that's Spurs' only saving grace at the moment. If West Ham Leeds at home, they should be up. They've got to be up for it. It's a massive game.
They have to turn up. There's no buts about it now. They have to win, and they have to rely on Everton beating Spurs. That's the only way West Ham survive. They're 2 points off safety. If they draw, no good. If Spurs lose and they win, they survive. It's done. All Spurs need is a point. Literally, all Spurs needed on Tuesday night was a point against Chelsea, and they couldn't do that. So that's just.
Oh.
And there's one thing you can guarantee in the Premier League for Chelsea FC: it's 6 points already at the start of the year, because we do not lose to Tottenham Hotspur. We just don't. We don't.
So that's possibly 6 points you're not getting next year if they go down.
Yeah. So next year we might be a little bit screwed. So if West Ham don't mind, can they just give us the 6 points?
Real quick, gentlemen, before we get into the main topic, which everybody's been talking about, going crazy, Mo Salah's comments on, I think it was Sunday. We talked about this in our WhatsApp group. VAR. What do we do with it? Because clearly somebody made a 7-minute mock-up of VAR calls just this season that were wrongly awarded to Arsenal. 7 minutes. VAR gave a handball goal to United at the weekend. Literally, they come out the next day saying, oh, that goal shouldn't have been awarded. That's like probably the second or third time this year that has happened to United. There's been many times this season that teams have been screwed by VAR. Should we just scrap it? Because clearly the Prem can't use it correctly. It's not a problem anywhere else. But when it comes to here, it's like they lose all common sense. They don't know the interpretation of the rules. I don't know if it's like a boys club where, they don't try to question each other's authority. How do we fix this? Because VAR is ruining the game to me. You score a clean goal and they'll find a reason to try to chop it off. Oh, the head of his dick is offside. Like, how do you look for that? like they find every reason. Oh, the nostril, like is like this
Yeah.
is it
See
the
that?
hair from his nostril offside? Like
That's what I think they really need to scrap that. You know,
yeah,
they need to make that more clear. Maybe, as we said last week, if the foot's well offside, then maybe. But if your elbow's offside, or your, as you said, your hairline, or whatever, that shouldn't be the offside. I don't think.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it needs to be
yeah,
clear.
yeah. They can fuck right off if they're going. Oh yeah, your fingernails offside. Fuck off. No, you can't score with your fingernails. It's a completely disallowed goal straight away. So, well,
Yeah.
unless you're Man United, but if if you score with your hands, it's a disallowed goal. If you score with your arm, it's a disallowed goal. I understand maybe the hair because like you can score with your hair, kind of like you can scrape across it, can't it? So yeah, kind of understand that. But if it's a toenail, what are we doing? Are we really arguing over a toenail? Like, because they sit there for a good 45 minutes deciding if it is the toenail or not.
That's the problem as well. That's where the massive problem lies with VR. It's not an instant decision, which it should be. It should be very clear. It should
Yeah,
be
no, I
very
totally
instant.
agree. Totally agree. And I also think it needs to be a little bit better than what it like. You do look at VAR and they do make the right calls in some times. It varies and it is rare, but they do make the right calls sometimes. And you do look at it and you go, okay, yeah, that's the right call. That is a free kick. And okay, yeah, that is a red card. Like when we played Arsenal back in Stamford Bridge, and when Caicedo went high on Mikel Reina, I knew it was a red because of how high he went. But then you look at the game on Monday, it's the same as that tackle, and then it wasn't a red card. These referees have all got different opinions on different tackles. They all need to be just told if it looks like it's high, and if it is high, it's a red. There's no buts. It's just simple as like because all referees got different opinions on different topics. This can't be how it's. We can't referee it differently and VAR it differently because you've got a different opinion. It needs to be the same opinion throughout every single VAR and every referee. Like the referee who went to the monitor for the Man United game. You go to the monitor, you can clearly tell he's held it with his arm, but you're still going to go, I'm going to stick with my decision. Is he being paid 50 grand or something just to give the goal? Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. You can't just, you can tell he's used his arm, disallow it. It's simple as. And even everyone who was at the game went, oh, this is getting disallowed. He's used his arm, but he didn't. And in reality, that one goal Brian Mbeumo scored actually cost Forest a point, if you look at it, because Forest got a second goal, which the game would have ended 2-2 if that goal from Brian Mbeumo didn't get allowed. So just the consistency needs to be better. I also think we need to, I know like Premier League don't use it very well, but your UEFA handball rules are absolutely horrendous. So your arm could be down by the side and it's a penalty. So I don't know. I think the handball rule in the Prem just needs to be a little bit clarified.
yeah. If your hand is like
It's above your red. It's a penalty free kick, isn't it? Simple as.
if it's like this or this or this, it's a handball. I was talking about this with Tommy. Like if it hits your fucking hand, it's a handball. I'm sorry if the ball bounced oddly.
No, 100%.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah,
but, we don't want to
totally
give
agree.
too many penalties. They're always trying to control the narrative of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, we want to, we want the game to flow against the run of the play. Well, that's part of the play. Because if any other part of the pitch, aside from the penalty box, that's going to be called a handball.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere else, if you look at any other game you watch it and you think the referees are trying to let it free flow. That's fine, let it free flow. But if there's a VAR call, which is clearly a penalty or clearly a free kick or whatever, and a red card and violent conduct, then it needs to be dealt with and they need to be sent off. So they also need to find a way of just making it consistent. If they can't find a consistency, then just scrap the whole thing. Let it go back to the old times and let it play. Let the violence be there. Let the referees decide when it's a red card or not a red card, or a free kick when it's not a free kick.
There was mistakes before VAR. We know that there was mistakes, but there seems to be more mistakes now that we have VAR. But maybe that's because we see it more. We see 100 different replays in different angles, which you didn't see back in the day, maybe. But there seems to be more problems with VAR, and that's the point of VAR is to squish these problems, squish these doubts. But there's still the same issues. It just takes longer to make a decision.
Well, it was like last weekend in the FA Cup final. There was 3 penalty calls. arguably all three of them could have been a penalty, but VAR looked at them every single one and went, "Oh no, they're fair." But it's fine for a player to like run across someone, knee them, and elbow them in the ribs, then push them with two hands to the floor. It's just like, what is the consistency? Because I could promise you now, if we did that up at the other end, they're giving Man City a penalty. That's the problem.
That's where it seems to. Yeah,
it seems to be that they're favoritising the team, and that's
that's the
like
problem.
like Monday with the red card situation. Havertz, there's no buts. Havertz should have been sent off. He should not been on that pitch. Even if he didn't touch him a hell of a lot, and there's not much force, it doesn't matter about the force. The guy is halfway up his leg.
Studs up. Yeah.
Does the guy want to go any higher and get him in the knee where he could do his ACL or whatever? You know, there's so many dangers in football now. Like there's a lot of ACL injuries and all that type. And the type of tackle Havertz did, any higher, he could have done an ACL on the guy. So it's the consistency. If there's no consistency, scrap it. If we can get the consistency, then keep it.
I thought Chelsea had at least one penalty there. That one, I can't remember what player it was, but he got barred from behind. Like it's a free
Jarrell Hatter. Yeah, Jarrell Hatter. That to me, that was clear as day. Yeah. That one was clear as day.
That was
the other ones were a little bit of an argumentative ones. I do think the first one on João Pedro is a penalty, just because they're saying it's just like it's shoulder to shoulder, but I don't see how it can be shoulder to shoulder when his shoulder's in his chest. So
I think the other one that they were checking where the City player came like from behind him and like got the ball. I thought he like stepped on his foot. Was it another incident on João Pedro? I can't remember.
Yeah, two of them were on João, and then the other one was on João Hatter. But funny enough, every single one of them were the same player. The same City player committed all three of them and got away with all three of them. I just don't see how none of them were a penalty. Like, I'm not, obviously the game's gone now. I'm not saying that would have changed the game or whatever, but we were defending very well that game. And if we did get the first goal, I think we would have kept a clean sheet and we would have won the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one
game. It was a close game.
Yeah, it wasn't a great game. Like it was absolutely horrendous game to watch. Like I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I could have put pins in my eyes. That's how bad it was. But but at the end of the day, I think they need to update the penalty rule as well. Like what's the threshold of the amount of contact needs to be in the Prem, in the FA Cup, in the Prem, or whatever competition you're in. Because for a fact, any of them penalty calls that we had in the FA Cup, you go into UEFA in the UEFA Champions League for that, they're giving it. Yeah. They are giving that as a penalty. So I think UEFA and the Prem need to have a conversation, because that's also annoying the Premier League teams when they go to play UEFA competitions. They're coming back a couple of days later, the same tackle or same foul happens to them, but it's different. And I think that there needs to be dialogue on both parts. I know they're two different competitions and stuff, but they do need a little bit of dialogue, so it makes it fair throughout the whole sport in integrity.
But it should be the same.
Yeah, I agree. And since they're a part of UEFA needs to start mandating these rules.
Yeah.
Don't let the league be like, okay, maybe we'll implement. No, if UEFA says the Euros is getting automated offside, Champions League and all other European competitions are getting automated offside technology.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single league is adopting them. And if you don't, you're going to get £100 million fine or something for every game that you don't use it.
Yeah, exactly.
They need to grow some balls and start mandating this shit, because it gets frustrating. There's so many different rules and interpretations. Like, it needs to stop being subjective.
Yeah.
The VAR is there to be objective. And Tommy and I were talking about using the use of AI. You input the rules and just use some form of AI capability to determine what's a handball, what's a penalty, what's a foul, what's a sending off, whatever. Mm-hmm. Kind of like what baseball does with balls and strikes right now.
A handball is anything away from your body. Not like if it's a little bit away from your body, but I mean like if it's like, if you're like that, that's a handball. That's a handball. And if it's above your head, it's a handball. That's the problem. Because did you see the Celtic one when they played?
Oh my God.
And they're going, it's not a pen, mate, his hand's on his head. It's a pen. And everyone's going, oh, they've rigged it. They haven't. They've literally seen he's put it on his head. Like, if he's put his arm there, it's a pen. Stop arguing the narrative of the situation. The situation was VAR got the right call. If they, anywhere else, if that was in the other box, it's a pen, it's a pen, it's a pen. And do you know what I mean? Like, it's just because of the team it was, they're all kicking off over it. But that was a pen.
Talking of Celtic, what do we think of that game? That last game, and the fact
they
that
stormed the pitch.
They stormed the pitch, and the game actually didn't finish.
Yeah, the ref blew when they just stormed the pitch, didn't he?
If I'm a Hearts fan, I'm going mad. I'm saying no. Let's replay. You know,
I think they are now. I think they are. I think Hearts come out with a statement the other day saying that they want to replay the game, basically, because they don't see it being fair that they lost.
Yeah,
because
it didn't
the game.
finish. There was still a minute.
You could say it didn't finish, but Hearts are really going to score 2 goals in a minute.
Probably not, but you never know. You can never rule that out. It can happen.
Yeah, I think they're arguing that the game was abandoned because the final whistle was never blown, and if that's the case, by default, it's a 3-0 win to Hearts, and they get the title.
Oh, do it.
If it's happened before in other leagues. I forget what it was. It was like Spartak something. I can't remember. Their fans stormed the pitch, and the other team complained, saying like, "It never blew the full-time whistle." Then retroactively, they went and awarded the game to the other team, and they won the league title. And to be honest, I hope that happens because Celtic won another league and nobody gives a shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I like them, but I wanted to see Hearts win.
I think a lot of people did. Because it would be the first team. I think it was like the first team of 40 years. They have someone out of other than Rangers and Celtic to win the Scottish Premiership. So I will be honest, I don't see why there is a Scottish Premiership because there's literally 10 teams and they just play each other about 7 times a year. But
Orient and Hearts have got a big connection. I don't know if you guys knew this. Orient and Hearts have got. We play each other in friendlies and stuff. We've got a big connection.
Yeah.
Because in World War One, sorry, that was my dog. I don't know if you heard that. In World War One. Yeah, that's my dog. In World War One, the football teams didn't have to go to war. They didn't have to join the war. But Leyton Orient and Hearts were like the first 2 teams to enlist and go to war, and then obviously other teams followed. So there's a bond between Hearts and Orient. So I've got a soft spot for Hearts. So I was gutted, man. I would like to have seen, obviously, like most of us, apart from Celtic fans, would love to have seen Hearts win that, and I hope it gets overturned.
Yeah, I used to have a Hearts kit.
Oh, really? Oh, man, they got a cool kit. It's cool.
Yeah. I ended up selling it though, which I regret. I ended up selling a lot of kits, which I regret because they're now very expensive to replace.
Yeah. Oh man,
I had a kit of Stevie when he wore the number 7, and
Jesus,
Jesus.
That was dope.
You know the yellow one, the yellow and like navy one they used when they won the treble.
You didn't sell
I had that, and I had Robbie Fowler.
You sold that?
I sold it too. Yeah,
bro.
I got them from somebody from Liverpool was selling them on eBay. I got them at the time for like $25 a piece. And I don't know, I just was kind of looking at the market and I ended up selling them here for like $100 profit each.
Ooh.
But now I want them back. So I found one. I found a Stevie, and it's the one from when they played at Cardiff for the FA Cup final. So still trying to get that one. But since we're talking about Liverpool, that seems to be the talk, aside from the Arsenal title win that nobody cares about. They seem to be the talk of the town. It's all over media. Mr. Mohamed Salah dropped a bombshell of a post on X and on his social medias. And I'm going to read that real quick. And I want your guys' thoughts on whether he should have said this or if he should have kept it to himself, because a lot of people in the media are saying he shouldn't have done this and he should be dropped for the last game. And I think that personally for me, I think if it was someone like Harry Kane doing this, nobody would give a shit. But because it's Mo and it's Liverpool, because Liverpool bad draws headlines and it brings a lot of controversy and a lot of clicks, I personally think that's why they're doing it. But here's the post.
And it's because he's in the Premier League as well. Because Liverpool and Mo are in the Prem. It's the biggest thing in the world, isn't it? If you talk about Harry Kane, he's only played for Bayern Munich. The team will win the league every year.
Yep. So he posted this on Saturday. So Mo's post, I have witnessed this club go from doubters to believers and from believers to champions. It took hard work and I always did everything I could to help the club get there. Nothing makes me prouder than that. Us crumbling to yet another defeat this season was very painful and not what our fans deserve. I want to see Liverpool go back to being the heavy metal attacking team that opponents fear and back to being a team that wins trophies. That is the football I know how to play, and that is the identity that needs to be recovered and kept for good. It cannot be negotiable, and everyone that joins this club should adapt to it. Winning some games here and there is not what Liverpool should be about. All teams win games. Liverpool will always be a club that means a great deal to me and to my family. I want to see it succeed for long after I have moved on. As I've always said, qualifying to next season's Champions League is the bare minimum, and I will do everything I can to make that happen. What are your thoughts, fellas?
I don't think it's too bad.
I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. He's not gone slots the worst manager I've ever seen in my life, has he? So
it's kind of, yeah. I mean, he has.
He's only calling out the way Liverpool have been this year. It's not like he's actually gone slot this, slot that, slot this. Like he's literally just gone. We need to be better. We need to be a better attacking team. I want us to be back to the way we used to be, like last year when you were a proper good attacking team. It's just this year you've not been as good and you've been a bit boring on the eye, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
not the tactics have not been great. Yeah, that comes down to the manager mentality. I would say has been a bit of a thing this year for Liverpool. Again, comes down to the manager. But Mo's just speaking his mind, and if a player's not allowed to speak their mind, then what is a player doing? Like, what's the point? Like, yeah, okay, you pay him 400k a week, whatever. Like, the guy has every right in the world to go and say what he's thinking. And in Mo's point of view, he's probably thinking, I leave in a couple of weeks, so I don't care. Like, if he doesn't let him play this weekend, then he's basically written himself a death warrant anyway, in my opinion, because you have to let Mo and Robbo both start against Brentford. That's a fact. They both have to start and then take them both off at 60 minutes and let them get the standing ovation they both deserve. Because Liverpool wouldn't be where Liverpool are right now without Mo and Robbo. You wouldn't have won the Champions League without Mo, and especially Robbo. You wouldn't have won the Prem without Mo and Robbo. So at the end of the day, if Slot wants to be pathetic and childish, that's fine. But he's never going to get Liverpool fans back on side if he keeps going the wrong way about it. And the wrong way about it is definitely not letting them two play over the weekend. He'll let Robbo, but if you don't let Salah, then he's going to look like an absolute.
So Robbo posted too.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got both of them. You've got them both commenting and talking about how Liverpool have been. Because you think about Mo came out at the start of the season, didn't he? When he was chucked to the bench, and he did say though, I don't even know why I'm on the bench. Like I'm like one of the better players who should be playing every week. But now he's got, and then that's when he did get dropped and he did get banned for a few games by Slot, and that's fair. Like he said something about at the time, like I don't understand what the manager's doing, but now he's not said that. He just said he wants Liverpool to be a heavy metal team. What's the problem in that? And he's saying how much he loves the club. What is the problem? If any manager thinks that's a problem, then they shouldn't be a manager. I mean, I don't see any issue with that.
With how it's ended for him, this is his last couple of games, and it's not how he wants to finish, obviously. So he's frustrated. He's a Liverpool legend. He's earned the right to say, I think, what he wants to say. Obviously, you can't call out the manager and maybe expect not to get dropped. I don't think he has obviously called out the manager basically, but not. He's not. But not in. He's not actually called anything. He's
totally agree. He's called out the manager, but he technically hasn't called out the manager.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah.
So if the manager goes, you're dropped because of what you said on the internet, then what's he got to say? Because at the end of the day, Salah can go, I was talking about how the club is, not talking about you.
And he's been such a great servant. You know, he's a Liverpool legend. You know, I think the fans will respect his honesty. You know, I think I would if that was an Orient player that's come out and said it, and I'd be like, yeah, fair play.
The thing is, you actually look at it this year. Salah's actually been like a captain of Liverpool. He's come out and he said that we've not been good enough and stuff like that. Same with Van Dijk. Van Dijk's always said all year round, we've not been good. We've not been good enough this season. We've not done this. We've not done that. And same with Salah, and the same with a lot of the experienced figures in the Liverpool team. But now you're talking about dropping him because he's just spoke his mind. Come on, let's just say this: if he drops him, then he needs to be sacked. That's the problem.
But
he needs to be sacked anyway.
If he drops him and Liverpool lose, can you imagine? Like that's
Well, from a Chelsea point of view, this weekend I need Liverpool to win. So,
what's the general Liverpool fan talk on this topic? What's the Liverpool fan feeling towards this? What's the general feeling?
You get your odd fan that are backing the club. Well, I don't want to say the club. They're clearly backing the manager over your club legend. So there's that. I'm not going to point fingers, name names, or anything like that, but it's pretty apparent who's doing what for what reason. Look at the most recent kit launch and who's there, and that'll tell you everything you need to know. But when they had the segment on Sky, I think it was a couple days ago, it was probably Monday or so, there was a poll for Liverpool fans, and Jamie Carragher kept saying, oh, it's split 50-50 down the middle. No, it's fucking not. The poll completed. Who do you support? Salah or Slot? It was 94% supported Mo and 6% supported Slot. And that's where I made the joke, Tommy, where those 6% are journos.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like they have to be. Yeah. Because they're paid. There's certain journalists that are club mouthpieces. They fucking get their marching orders from the club. And I'm sure it's the same for Chelsea. I'm sure it's the same for every other club out there. They have their own, even though they like work for the Athletic or whatever, they have an affiliation to the club, and they get their marching orders for them. They say, you put this piece out, yada, yada, yada. It's not like it used to be before where journalists had the integrity to call out bullshit, but all they do is toe the club line because it's all about access and your clicks and all this other bullshit. But with the Mo statement, I see people saying on Talk Sport and all these other on Sky and everything, like, oh, he's bang out of order, he's out of line. Freaking Sam Allardyce, I think he said yesterday, oh, he should bench him for the last game. He shouldn't be in the stadium. Try that. Try it. See what happens to you. You're going to need a police escort out of Anfield. Yeah. Inside and out.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, if he doesn't play Mo on the weekend and let him get the standing ovation he deserves and the claps and everything from Liverpool fans, because at the end of the day, he's been a great servant to the club. He's not just gone there and just played 2 years and then gone, screw this, fuck this, I want to go. Like he's said, he's been there for a few years now. He's won you a Premier League title, well, 2 Premier League titles actually. He's won you a Champions League. He's won you won the League Cup and the FA Cup with him. So what else? What is Slot thinking if he goes, oh yeah, let's just drop him and not play him and don't let him in the team and don't let him in the stadium? Like he's just, you're signing your death warrant at the end of the day.
That would be insane.
You're already got a half death warrant signed because the Liverpool fans physically hate you at the moment because you're not good enough. Like, what else you're making the wrong decisions. At the end of the day, I think if he did drop him this weekend, I do see Slot getting sacked anyway. I don't think he'll survive. I don't think he'll survive the weekend. I don't think he'll survive. But I think it's done. I do think they'll sack him. I think a lot of the senior figures at Liverpool now have kind of gone there and gone like, this is it now. He needs to go. Because at the end of the day, I think he does. I watched you against Villa. You got battered by a Villa team who were playing in 3 days' time in the Europa League final. Like, I know they'll be right up for it, but they would have been more up for the final than they were against you, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So for you guys to not go out there and just put a performance on and just a game of, you just thought it was nothing. Like, a lot of the players just looked like didn't want to be there. So I think it's going to come down to who is out there for Liverpool. That's the question to ask now.
And not Alonso.
I think.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry, guys. sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
Real quick on Alonso, I will say, if it doesn't go well in the beginning, Bluco have to give.
No,
He has to be allowed time, because if it's not doing well and you're not in a Champions League spot or in the top half of the table or in the top 4 or top 2, whatever, by January you can't boot him.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think as well. Like, he's already started now. He has started. Like, I know on the paperwork he says he's not starting until the 1st of July, but deep down I know he's started now. He's already in talks with the ownership. He's already in talks with the directors about what the summer plans are, who we're going to go out there and get in the club and get us better for next year. And then I have heard as well that as soon as July the 1st comes, he wants conversations with the like of João Pedro, the likes of Enzo Fernandez, so he can talk to them and hopefully persuade them not to go anywhere. Like, because I'm seeing rumours at the moment that João Pedro is apparently rumoured to wanting to leave. Don't believe it, because it's coming out of the Spanish media. Like, the Spanish media are going, he wants to leave. But Barcelona can pay the Spanish media to say that, can't they, at the end of the day? Barcelona want him, so they're going to have to pay a lot of money for a guy of João Pedro's quality at the moment, and I don't think they can afford it, personally. I'm over the moon with Alonso. First top manager we've ever signed since under Bluco.
And he's the manager as well, right? He's actually
he's the manager, so he's not a head coach or anything like that. Yeah. So he makes the decisions. That's the fact of this appointment. He's the decision maker. It's not down to the likes of, obviously, all the other people. Like, the directors are there and they'll make the final decision on who we buy if the money's right. But he's made it clear that he wants such and such because I'm pretty sure he wants like a Victor Osimhen in the summer. He wants a better striker. He wants a better goalkeeper. I'm hearing that we might be going back for AC Milan goalkeeper Mike Maignan. So, and he wants a couple more experienced players as well. Just a couple experienced players. And if I'm honest, I think I would not be surprised if you start seeing links of Chelsea to Granit Xhaka. I wouldn't be surprised of it because he played under Alonso at Leverkusen. And when Alonso left, he wanted to leave and he came to Sunderland. So I wouldn't be surprised you start seeing those links.
Interesting.
Because that's Alonso's guy. That's the guy who helped win Alonso the invincible season in Germany. So I wouldn't be surprised. I generally wouldn't. And I've already seen us linked to a few Bayer Leverkusen players, like a couple of their centre backs, because he already knows them. But say we miss out on Europe on Sunday with a loss against Sunderland, which, do not get me wrong, I'm not entirely confident because we've got to go away to Sunderland, so it's going to be a very, very difficult game. If we lose to Sunderland, we'll finish probably 10th. So, and then he's going to get one game a week to prepare a team of this quality to get better and better and better and better. And if we do get better and better and better, because everyone already knows how good the team can be. It's just about making it better. But I think Liverpool sign Antonio Raiola.
No, I think the jump is too big for him.
I don't know.
I
remember Liverpool are not as experienced as they was now. Like, obviously losing Robbo, losing Salah. So, like, you're losing a few players. You've got a few young players in there.
Yeah, but
the way Liverpool play at the moment, you're like under Klopp, you were like a high pressing attacking team.
Yeah.
If there's any manager out there right now who can bring that back to Liverpool, it is Antonio Raiola. The way Bournemouth play, they're a high pressing attacking forward team. I would not be surprised if you were to sack Slot, if that would be the guy who goes in and takes over. That's my honest opinion.
But I again, my worry is that the jump is too big.
No, I totally agree with you. I do see the point.
We see that a lot with players that do well at teams like Bournemouth. Then they get the big job, and it's different.
It's different. The expectations are different. You're not.
I just think Antonio Raiola's a different breed. I think he could do it.
He wants to be in London, right? Didn't he say that? He wants to be in London?
Yeah, but is he really going to drop? Would you really, if Liverpool come calling, would you really say no? That's the problem. Like, would you really say, I want to go to Crystal Palace over Liverpool? Come on, let's be honest.
You'd be crazy.
You'd be that would be the biggest thing in football history. And one of the biggest things in football history.
Sorry, Palace fans.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Don't get me wrong. Palace are a good club. They are a good club, and they're going to win the Conference League next week. And they'll be in the Europa League. But I don't think now they're losing their top manager. They're not going to be as good. I do worry for Bournemouth next season. I really do. I do worry for them because I've seen this manager who they've got now. He was the manager at Leipzig and Borussia Dortmund, and he was absolutely horrendous. So if he can't manage two top teams in Germany, what's he going to be like coming to a Premier League side who have to play every week and now you are expecting Bournemouth to win. You're not expecting them to drop points anymore. You're expecting them to win. That's the difference.
In Europe
yes,
as well.
And they're in Europe. It's all confirmed now. They are in Europe. It's just they're in Europe. It's either the Europa League or the Champions League for them. It's just them two. They can't get Conference League, so they're in one of the bigger competitions. I just need Liverpool to beat Brentford, so Bournemouth get Champions League, and then we finish 7th and we get Europa League.
The best you're gonna get is a draw. So,
well, that's not good enough, mate.
Chris, what are your thoughts if Salah doesn't play on the weekend? Where are you with that?
Sign his death warrant.
Yeah, death warrant. He's done.
Yeah.
He's done. I mean, the problem is it's his along with his tactics this season. The arrogance is what gets to him. He has no connection with even since last season. Like, he has no connection with the fans. Liverpool is one of those clubs where you have to have the backing.
Yeah,
it's important. If they don't back you, you're done. You're done. And they could talk about, this fucking 60-page dossier that Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards came up with on why Slot's the guy. Well, I could point to you 20 fucking games this season alone and going back to the Newcastle loss in the Cup final of why he's not.
Yeah.
18 months, almost 2 years of why he's not going to. On average, for the most of his time that he's been here, we've been playing like a mid-table club. The only reason this season is not worse is because we won those 5 games. And I think that was based off of the emotion of, like, the Diogo news was still raw. You know, we kicked it up another gear in memory of him. And another thing that I wanted to bring up, which I felt like I didn't want to go this route, but it's the Diogo Jota passing. Too many times I've seen in the media, mitigating circumstances, Diogo Jota passed away. His passing, like, stop bringing it up. It's disrespectful to his family. It's disrespectful to his friends. It's disrespectful to his wife. It's unnecessary. You don't need to bring that up every time we lose. If you want to bring it up after, like, a big win, like, we pushed that extra mile, because, pre-game we were like, we needed that extra push, that extra bit of motivation. Like, we're going to do it for our number 20. We're going to do it for Diogo. But you don't bring that up all the time as an excuse.
No,
it's not.
It's wrong.
It's wrong. And you're using him as a scapegoat for why your season went bad. Your season's going bad is because your manager is out of his depth. He doesn't have good tactics. He doesn't know how to solve the problems. He keeps saying, this will be fine when we get pacey wingers in the summer. Pacey wingers aren't going to fix the fact that your midfield is absolutely garbage. It's not going to fix the fact that your style of play is absolutely garbage. It's too passive. The players that you have don't suit that style. That style does not suit England whatsoever. The frustration with this manager is just, I've never been so irritated with a manager in the past. Like, even Brendan Rodgers has never pissed me off this much.
Even Brendan Rodgers?
Never pissed, because at least he tried.
Yeah.
At least he tried.
Yeah, but he also owned up that he was out of his depth, so
right.
That's the thing. Stop coming in the media and just talking about past experiences. Like, he speaks about a game which he wasn't even involved in half the time. He's like, Chelsea did this. Liverpool, Arsenal done that. Mate, it's got nothing to do with you what went on in an Arsenal, Chelsea, or Liverpool, or Man United or Spurs game. It's got nothing to do with you unless you're in that game. Talk about your own team and talk about your own problems. Don't talk about other people's. And that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to take away from the pressure from him and put it over to a different team. And again,
that or his players.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's always talk out his players. Son.
Yeah, he's always bust-talking his players.
That's never good. I never think that works, to be honest. There's only certain managers that can do that.
No, as soon as you start doing that, every player in this day and age, you don't play well. They'll stop playing for you.
Yeah.
They will stop playing for you. So that could be why Liverpool is so bad at the moment, because you're not playing for the manager. Because you look at the team, you do look at it and you go, oh, come on, why are they playing so bad? The team's there. It's just, you can tell the players, some of the players don't want to play for him.
Yeah, they don't care. And I think if he stays and he lasts up until January somehow, players are going to agitate for moves.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Madrid would be more than happy, or Bayern would be more than happy to take Florian Wirtz off our hands. Other teams would be more than happy to take Alexander Isak off our hands.
Well, Bayern
more than happy. Yeah.
Bayern wanted Wirtz. Bayern did want him, but the money didn't suit Bayern. That's the problem. Because you spent like 116 mil on the guy. Like, if you didn't spend that money, then I think he would have ended up at some point, if Liverpool didn't go and pay for the money they paid, I do think Bayern would have got him for a lot cheaper than what you paid. And that's the honest truth, because that's what Bayern do. They bully the teams in the Bundesliga into giving the price that they want.
Right.
Just doesn't work with Premier League teams. Like, they tried bullying Chelsea this season and trying to get Jackson on just a loan. And Chelsea are like, nope. You're having him. You're having him on a loan with an obligation. That's the problem. You're having it with that. And you're giving us a good 10, 15 million upfront fee for him as well. And they did.
Right.
Because they knew that the only way they were going to get a player from us at that time was that way.
Yeah. And another thing, it says a lot when a boyhood player for the club is like, fuck it, I'm done. There's a whole contract thing. There's things about wages. He wants to be compensated for, the level that he's playing at that club level. I get it. Because you went and you gave Grabenberch like 200 grand a week or something, who does not deserve that. Yeah, you sold Diaz and then you gave Cody Gakpo a 250 grand or how much extension. And he's seeing new guys come to the club and getting that money right off the bat. I'm sure he's asking for a little bit. he's asking for a substantial pay bump. And he's like, okay, if you're not going to give me that, I'm going to leave. And on top of that, he's another one that's had a falling out with the manager. And if you notice, all of the fallouts are with Klopp player, former Klopp
player. You lost Trent this summer, and I think the main reason for Trent leaving was because of Slot. 100%. I don't think Trent leaves if you have a different manager in charge, a manager he can trust, and a manager he can get along with. Again, it comes down to players can respect who they're in. Who's telling them what to do? You ain't got the manager telling them like the respect between players and respect as a team to that manager. You're not going to play. You do look at it from a Chelsea point of view. Them players did not respect Rafinha, so that's why he got sacked, because the club knew in the end he was out of his depth. He couldn't take control of this team. This team was too big of an ego for him, and I think that is why we've gone for Xabi Alonso in so many ways. Is because we know now that he can tell these players to piss off. You don't fucking like it, get the fuck out of the squad. Get gone. Because he kind of done that in Real Madrid in so many ways. He did tell the players if they don't like it, they know where the door is. But you do that at Real Madrid, you're just going to kind of, it's the president. If you can't, the players go cry to the president, and then the president backs the players instead of the manager. It's been a Real Madrid thing for decades. So,
yep, I think with this Liverpool situation, they'd be stupid to keep him after this weekend. You'd be setting the club back 5 years minimum.
Yeah, obviously, I wouldn't be surprised if he did get sacked, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they tried to keep him for the first 10 games, 10 games of the season to see if anything improves. Just because
sounds like that's what's happening, right? It sounds like that's what they're sticking.
I don't know. Like, I think at some point the ownership needs to listen to the fans, because they're the match-going fans. They're the ones who pay your bills, pay tickets, pay stupid prices to go watch that team play. At some point, you're going to get screwed. Like, at some point they're just going to stop really kind of showing up in a minute and just going, I'm not going to go back it anymore because they're not playing for the badge. They're not playing for us. They clearly want this guy gone. Get him gone. And it just comes down to when it does happen. Obviously, I don't think it will happen straight away. I think there'll be a bit of delegation about it. You might even see that Slot gives up and walks away, so it doesn't ruin his reputation.
Yeah.
Like if he wants to go, like if you get sacked by Liverpool, it kind of does ruin your reputation in so many ways. It's the same like if you get sacked from a big club anywhere. If you get sacked from a big club, it ruins your reputation. Because why did you get sacked? Why did you lose your job? Oh, I was an arsehole, you know? Like, so so it's one of them.
The thing is, if Salah doesn't play this weekend and Liverpool lose, I think that's going to be massive.
Yeah. That's going to be massive, but do you really think the hierarchy are going to care? No.
They should.
In this day and age, they have to back their manager.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
And this ownership does want to back Slot, don't they? That's the problem. They backed him in the summer and gave him 500 million to spend in.
Which I don't understand.
Yeah. Because Klopp never got any money. Never.
No.
And then you go first season, like second season into Slot's tenure, you went and spent 550 million on an Ekitike, a Verts. It's big money you spent in the summer. And I think that's why people are talking about you quite a lot this year as well. It's for the amount of money Liverpool spent.
Yeah, because whenever the season don't pan out, they like to throw the line of, it's a season of transition. You did not spend £450 million for a transition season. You had full expectation to go and repeat as title winners. That is why you went and bought the best striker from the previous season, the best young prospects coming out of Germany, one of the best striking prospects in Hugo Ekitike. I don't know why we bought Frimpong. Probably because he's best friends with Florian Wirtz. You bought the best left back in the league from the previous season in Kirkez.
Yeah, mate, that guy was unbelievable for Bournemouth, but since coming to Liverpool, he's not been that good.
Yeah, because he's not letting them do what he does naturally.
And the thing is as well, some of the wingers he's playing with, like at Bournemouth, he had that understanding with like Tavernier or whoever or Cliver on the left. So he knew that he could do the overlap.
Yep.
He goes and does the overlap, and then you've got Cody Gakpo or whoever's on the left turning back and going backwards. Just give him that ball and he's going to whip that in, and he's going to score at the end of the day. This is how good of Kirkez is, but can Liverpool find the right solution to get that team playing again? With this manager, I don't agree. I do think he's not good enough for the team now. I think he's lost it.
Yeah, I think if Klopp was still in charge with this squad, we probably wouldn't have won the league. I don't know. But at least we'd probably be either second or third.
The only reason Arsenal have won the league this year is because, one, it's not been competitive towards the top. And two, they've not won it because of their attack. They've won it because of their defence. Yeah. That's the problem. They can score one corner goal and then they can keep anyone out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. They've not won it because they've been absolutely unbelievable and they've been quality. No, they've been absolutely bloody horrendous, but they score so many corners, they win games.
Arsenal fans are fuming right now.
They're not fuming, mate. They're too busy getting pissed.
Yeah. And you guys are good luck. Good luck.
Fair play to them. Like you've got to give them their due. They've won it in a way that not many teams win it. Like by just set pieces.
Yeah.
Back in the
they're
90s,
not called Arsenal FC, they're called Set Piece FC. That's what they're
Piece FC. But back in the 90s, like there have been United teams that won on 78 points, and it's it's not unheard of. I mean,
but did you hear this weekend that Palace have made it clear to any supporter if they hand any of their tickets, if they sell any tickets to an Arsenal fan, they'll be banished. They'll be never allowed to go to a Crystal Palace game again.
Really?
And that goes to season ticket holders. So Palace have made it clear because this weekend is also about Palace because it's a game before they go and play in a European final.
Yeah.
So they've also told Arsenal that they're not allowed to lift the trophy until after an hour after they've done their walk around the pitch and clap their own fans and done their own speeches and stuff like that. Yeah. So
okay.
Arsenal got to stand twiddling their fingers to get hold of it for another hour. I can't wait to watch that. Well, at the end of the day, you're getting it you're going to another stadium to collect it. That team has every right to go. You can wait a minute. This is my stadium. I pay the rent on this place. You can bloody wait.
Or they could say, you're not lifting it here at all. You need to go.
Yeah.
To be fair, they could. They generally could.
Yeah, get out of here.
I'm glad it's not a Stamford Bridge, I can tell you
that. God of honor.
You know who the only team that Arsenal didn't score against this year?
What, you guys?
Liverpool. Yeah. Really?
Oh, yeah, that 0-0 draw, didn't you?
Yep. And we beat them on a set piece. which I find it's so dumb because this manager complained about set pieces all season and then we start scoring from set pieces and we beat Arsenal on a set piece. It's been a clown show of a season. I can't wait until the season is over. The weekend and
guys, we've got to talk about.
Oh right,
we've got to talk about.
You got some binoculars.
I need some.
They're pretty cool, mate.
Has there ever been a crazier situation? Has there ever been a crazier response? To be honest,
2019 when Leeds did it.
Oh, this has happened before.
Yeah.
What was the situation there? Because I can't.
Leeds done it to Derby.
What was the punishment though? Did they get kicked out?
See, this is why there's an argument over it all because Leeds only got a £200,000 fine.
Okay.
But that was during the season, right?
Yeah, it was during the season, but I'm pretty sure it's towards the end of the season as well. So it was a defining moment in the season, I'm pretty sure, for both teams. So obviously Bielsa went inspired on the Derby County thing on a training session, and the club only got a £200,000 fine, which Bielsa paid out of his own pocket, and Bielsa didn't even get didn't get any trouble for it or anything like that. But now Southampton are arguing because they've been banished from it. They've been told they're not allowed to play in it, which fair enough. But you've also cost the club 250 million. It's a lot of money.
250.
Yeah, well, they cost themselves 250 million.
Yeah,
and they've got a 4-point deduction at the start of next season in the Championship.
Oh, okay.
A lot of their players are seeking how to get out of their contracts because they don't think it's fair. They want to know if Southampton's broke a thing or something in the contract terms of that.
Yeah, the players.
You can't tell me they weren't complicit.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Also, like obviously, you put in last night. Tom Derecker, he is going to get the sack. That's a fact. You can't keep hold of him now. He's going to get banned by the FA as well. That's the problem. The FA are now investigating it. From this morning, they are now investigating the situation. So you're investigating the situation with Southampton and the manager and all that type of crap. So they're probably going to get more fines. Did you see the Southampton statement yesterday? They mentioned Chelsea, Leeds, Everton.
Really?
About how unfair their punishment is because they're like, Chelsea broke the rules on over 7 years of over money payments about when we signed like a Willian or something under Roman Abramovich. It was agent fees which we hid. We only got a 10.75 million fine for that. But we're also not on a sporting sanction, but we're on a sporting suspended sentence. If we break the rules over the next 5 years, then we're in shit. So I don't think any clubs don't see the rules. Like people are all whinging that Chelsea got away with it. We haven't. But if we break one FFP rule, then we're under a transfer embargo. So like people don't read into it properly. If you know what I mean, like they all start whinging. Same with clubs, they start whinging about that punishment's not fair. But
but you got caught.
In reality,
that's the problem. Like you got caught.
We didn't get caught, actually. This is the thing.
No, I'm talking about Southampton.
Yeah, they got caught. We went and handed our books over and went, this is wrong. And we handed it to the FA and we handed it to UEFA. So we owned up to it, which are these owners dumbasses or something? Because why would you do that? You would have got away with it. We got away with it for 7 years. So why are you doing it now? But I'm not too fast. So I do personally think that Middlesbrough shouldn't have been reinstated. I do think Hull should have just been automatically promoted. Because
They can't play
if you
that game,
do,
mate.
if you
It's
do
worth
look
too
at
much
it,
money.
you do look at it on paper. Middlesbrough didn't beat Southampton. Okay, yeah, the Southampton only spied on one game against Middlesbrough, and that was the one away from home, which they drew 0-0. So Southampton beat them at home. So in fairness, Middlesbrough haven't actually won. Middlesbrough have just been handed a game, and our Hull are going to be fuming because if they lose on Saturday, which they have not had enough time to prepare for this, while Middlesbrough have been training since the loss to Southampton because they thought this might happen. So every team is known who they're playing because both of them knew that they were playing Hull. But Southampton and Middlesbrough knew they were playing Hull, but Hull didn't know they're playing Southampton or Middlesbrough. So and for the last week, they've been training to play Southampton. So now they've got like 2 days to prepare for Middlesbrough.
It's so stupid. It's such a stupid situation that Southampton, obviously.
And if you're going by the season records,
Southampton-
Hull lost both games to Middlesbrough this season, while they beat Southampton twice. So that's
What were they
another reason
thinking,
Hull are a
man?
little bit annoyed.
What was Southampton thinking? I know the manager said it was him. He didn't realise. He said he didn't realise that you can't do this. Come on, man.
Is he a dumbass?
But what are they actually going to get?
You can't. I didn't know I couldn't spy. Oh, fuck off.
I mean,
you
how
knew
much
that you're not
are you
allowed to spy.
gonna
It's in the rules. You didn't know.
Yeah, and how much are you actually going to learn from watching that training session? They're working on ideas. All right, you can see who's
No,
injured.
apparently the training session of Middlesbrough training session was specifically how they were going to play against Southampton.
Oh, really? Oh, it was shape and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. I mean,
but they got
it's
caught
so
2 other
stupid.
times as well. Southampton. That's the problem. They've done it more than once this season. So they've not just done it just on Middlesbrough. They've done it on Ipswich and an Oxford United as well.
Yeah.
So like, it didn't affect any other teams, but you've got to, if you're going to do it, in my opinion, if you're going to take Southampton out of the playoffs, you have to redo the playoffs. You have to, because you can't just reinstate a team who hasn't earned it. They haven't earned their way to the final. They haven't. Like, fair play, like Southampton done wrong, kick them out. That's fair. But Middlesbrough didn't actually earn their way to the final. They've just been handed the key to the biggest payment, like in reality, because it's the biggest game in football history. I know they say, the Champions League, the Premier League, and everything like that. That's the biggest. This is actually the biggest game in football history. It's the most expensive game in football history. It's like 200 to 250 million you can earn just from being promoted from this game, which you think is actually crazy, by the way, because if you finish first in the Championship, you don't get as much, and the same if you finish second. But if you get promotion through the playoffs, it's a lot of money, which I don't see how that works, by the way. Like, you win the league and you get like nothing, but you go up after playing in a playoff and you go up, you get a lot of money. But fair play. I
feel like Middlesbrough are going to do it as well. I don't know why.
I do. I generally think they're going to. I actually generally think they'll batter Hull. I think they'll absolutely batter Hull on Saturday. But that's the thing. Hull will play the game. They're not refusing to play the game. But they have said, like, if they did lose, they're gonna like appeal it and go like, well, this wasn't fair.
Yeah.
And as well, like, apparently Wrexham are looking into it as well, because like with Southampton being kicked out of the playoffs, Wrexham missed out on the playoffs on 2 points. So like they're thinking like, well, if they're kicked out of it, you should automatically put us into it and just let us have a chance of getting promoted, because like Southampton cheated their way into the playoffs in reality.
Oh, they're screwed.
No, that just makes it too murky. I think what they did was right. They booted them. Take your pick. Do you put Middlesbrough in, which they're going to do, or do you just give Hull automatic promotion? I think
it should be Hull automatic.
In fairness, I think you just play the game. You just play the game because, like you said, the training sessions they were spying on were specific to Southampton. So based on the evidence that we have, we know that they spied on them for those specific training sessions of how they were going to play against Southampton, their shape and everything. With that information, Southampton have some insider info on how to counter and negate that.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they were doing their stupid thing celebration after they beat them. So, I mean, that's damning in itself. I know it's kind of like speculation, but you can say that had they not done that Middlesbrough would have been on a level playing ground, because they wouldn't have known their insider tactics. So I think you can make from that assumption, you can say maybe Middlesbrough would have won and they would have been in the final. So I have no problem with Middlesbrough being in the final on Saturday. But I don't know. I think Hull might still do it just for the fear, like emotion and anger and frustration.
Yeah,
That could be a bit
I
of a
see that, but I also see Middlesbrough just wiping the floor with them because they've already done it this season twice. They have wiped the floor with them twice already this season. So Hull have. That's why they're annoyed as well because they're like, we've beat Southampton twice this season, but we've not beaten Middlesbrough. So like,
yeah, but it's a cup final. Everything goes out the door.
everything. Yeah, you're right. Everything changes in a final, and it changes in a one-off game.
Yeah, playoff finals are heartbreaking. Let's not go there.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Let's not go there, Tommy. You were nearly relegated this season, mate.
Yeah, not this season. Yeah. I'm just happy to be here still. You know.
Yeah, but gents, I think this has been an awesome show today. Some good conversation. The only prediction that we need for the last weekend of the season is who do we think going down?
West Ham.
Oh,
what about you, Tommy?
I'm going to go Spurs. I just feel like West Ham are going to put it out. I think West Ham win. I think I just can see Everton doing it, man. I see
Spurs. I see Spurs getting a point. I think a point's enough for them.
I want to see Jamie O'Hara. I want to see Jamie O'Hara straight after the game because that was pure cinema watching Jamie O'Hara after that game during the week. I want to see it again.
Just makes me laugh that Jamie O'Hara actually thought he had a chance against Chelsea. Like, they've not beaten Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in 38 years. They've won once in 38 years at Stamford Bridge. How the hell did he ever think that they were going to survive at Stamford Bridge? Come on. As bad as Chelsea are, we don't lose to Spurs. That is a problem. That is the thing. Like, we have never lost to Spurs at Stamford Bridge. The only time we lost them was when they're under Poch, and that was at 2018 when they beat us 3-1. But other than that,
I want to see a full Jamie O'Hara meltdown. That's what I want to see.
I want to see Jamie O'Hara crying. That's what I want to see. I want to see him crying. Crying. And do you know what? Then he can come out of retirement and help them get promoted then, can't he? Because they're going to lose a lot of players. A lot of players.
Oh, man. I gotta I know a Tottenham fan too that I feel bad for him, but
so do we, don't we, Tommy?
I want to. I'm gonna go with Spurs. Spurs going down. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Has Everton still got an outside chance of getting Europe?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they do.
Yeah, I would say if Everton had an outside chance of getting Europe, then I would say Spurs. But
Spurs are so bad at home as well.
It doesn't. Tom,
it'd be better if they was away.
Tom, they have been quite good recently. Spurs. They lost against us, but that's natural. So if they play any other team, I think they'll play all right. I think they'll get a 1-1 draw against Everton. I think it'll be a draw. I think West Ham go down on goal difference.
It's going to be
West Ham's
fair.
It's West Ham's fault having a rubbish defence.
It's fair enough.
And losing 3-1 to Newcastle, who, bear in mind, have been absolutely horrendous this season. Did you see the goal, though? The West Ham goal?
Oh, it's amazing. Goal of the season.
Tassie Canada. Oh, mate, what a goal.
Unbelievable.
What a goal. Takes up first time on the volley over his head. What a goal.
Goal of the season. Potential, yeah.
Oh, man. But all right, gents. Tommy, let's do our shameless plug of our paranormal podcast.
Yep.
Folks, if you're listening to this and you've gotten this far in the episode, we appreciate you 100%. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. If you are listening on or watching on any other podcast platform, like, share, give a rating, give a follow. That helps us out tremendously. As you know, folks, Tommy and I also host other podcasts, paranormal podcasts in particular. I host The Wandering Road, and Tommy hosts the Let's Get Freaky podcast. Our podcast, we interview guests about their paranormal experiences, demons, UFOs, cryptids. Tommy touches a little bit on conspiracy theories. I do sometimes as well. But if you would like to be a guest on those shows, please reach us via our email addresses. Mine is twroadpodcast@gmail.com. And Tommy, how can they reach yours?
So it's let's get freaky podcast at mail.com. Yes.
All right, folks. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Go ahead and give our paranormal podcast a follow. Even if you're not into that stuff, give it a chance. You might get into some of the creepy stories of guests that we have on the show. And I think Tommy's most recent episode with JJ from Southern Demonology is
Yes,
just
man.
that. So
Very
go ahead and
freaky.
give us a listen. And if you would like to be on Let's Get Footy, like our friend Lewis is here today, just shoot us an email at letsgetfooty@gmail.com. We'd be more than happy to have you on and talk some football. Looking forward to the season being over and the start of the World Cup and the transfer window. Thanks for listening.